You will be your biggest hater because anybody, when they see you pursuing, achieving your dreams or whatever it is that you're going after, they can easily just be like, bro, you're da da da, like hate, you know what I mean? But the only thing that will affect you is if you read those hate comments and you internalize them, you believe them, and then you will tell them to yourself in a way. You get what I mean? And then when you start telling yourself those things and you start believing it, and then you start acting in those ways and you stop putting in the work, you stop believing in what you're going after, you stop enjoying what it is that you're doing, you will go back and be like, all these people are hating on me because of this, or like it's making me this. But at the end of the day, all those haters are just noise, and all of that hate is so freaking pointless and sad. You know what I mean? But when you internalize it and you believe it, and then you kind of tell it to yourself, that's when the real damage comes in. Because anybody can say anything, but when you tell yourself these things, it's different, man. Because then you actually stop putting in work. You actually start treating yourself poorly by eating bad, lacking on exercise, lacking on the work that you need to be putting in, all these different things. And then those things will build up on you, in you, around you, and your whole life will freaking change for the worse. All because you got a little bit of that doubt and it broke through that little armor that you have, you know what I mean? And then you believed it. That's where it gets hard, man. And then when you start believing these things, how I said, you start treating yourself differently. And when you start treating yourself differently, your whole life changes. And when this new life that you created because of your own self hate, and not hate like, oh, I hate myself, this, more like doubt and more of a hater type of mindset, like, oh, you're not good, like, oh, that will never work, or like, oh, this is corny, or this is that. That's the type of hate I'm talking about. When that breaks through that armor and you believe that thing, man, the life you will have after that, it's gonna be so freaking different and sad because when you're on top of things, when you feel confident, when you feel like what you're working towards is one fun, enjoyable, good, and well done, and whatever it is that you feel when you do those things, when you lose that feeling, so much of what you feel and what believe, not only in what you're pursuing, but in yourself, will change. And then that will make the biggest difference in your life for the wrong reasons. And the only real way to combat this is anybody would be like, oh, just don't listen to the haters, man. They just hating, like it's a bunch of noise. And it is really that simple. But the thing is, you gotta find what makes you get vulnerable, what puts you in a lower mood. And then, because most of these haters will affect you when you're in that bad mood or when you're in that low spot in your life. So you got to figure out what's causing that and work on improving it. You know what I mean? Because if you're constantly, and I was just in this like a couple freaking weeks ago, when you're in this bad mood, you question, you doubt, and then that would just allow anything to seep through the cracks. You get what I mean? And when they get in there, at first you're gonna be like, damn, why are they hating on me? Why is this? Why is this? Like, why are they saying this, man? Like, I thought it was good like this. And then you'll look at it like, no, they're right. Like, actually, I'm not good at this. Now this isn't gonna work. This really probably won't work actually. Like, and then you see what I'm saying? That's so freaking destructive. And the thing is, it makes the most impact when you start telling yourself these things, because they can all be saying that. But if you feel good and you're doing good work, you won't hear it as much. It won't go through the cracks, and you'll kind of ignore it and just keep pushing. But once you start dropping that mood, dropping that good feeling, and they start creeping through the cracks and you start believing them, is when you yourself will hate on yourself, and that will do the most freaking damage. And it's crazy because in those moments, people would tell you just to be like, not have that positive mindset, keep working. And you should. And at times you will. And then you will get out of that little hole, that little rut, and then you'll keep it pushing. But at times, you will fall in deeper and things will get really hard. And then that's when you will need yourself to be your biggest supporter in order to get you out of that. In order to then, I guess, I don't know, just how I said, get you out of that, man. Because the same way you can be your biggest hater, the same way you are your biggest hater, is the same way you're going to be your biggest supporter, man. But the thing and the sad thing is, you being your biggest supporter is not as impactful. Because when you hate on yourself, it's easy to then kill your mood, lose all that motivation, productivity, whatever it is. But you being your biggest supporter can only do so much because it won't just change your mood like that. Maybe for a little bit. But then let's say you start taking action on something. And that's what the main thing. You got to start taking action. But then let's say you take action and you don't see the results right away. That freaking hating side of yourself will come back like that. And then that will freaking ruin everything pretty much. And that's actually so crazy if you really think about it. You can literally kill your mood so quick, but to build your mood back up, it really takes a lot more work, a lot more freaking discipline, and a lot more action. And that's the main thing, action. And that's where you got to separate the results from the action. Because if you put in the action, but then you don't get the results you want, you will fall back down. But you got to remember that the results will come with time. So then you got to consistently be putting in the action and consistently be learning, developing, growing, and allowing time for all these things to unfold. Because if you're relying on these results, you will fall back into that hating mindset and you will fall back into all the freaking nasty things of the hating mindset, man. And that is so freaking interesting. You will be your biggest hater and you will bring yourself down so easily. But it will take a lot out of you to bring yourself up and to be your biggest supporter. But you need to be, and you will be, and you have been. And you just got to keep going, and you got to be okay with the process. Have that patience, man. Take care.